start off with the Colts at the Texans. Uh, Better matchup with offense. I gotta go with the Colts. They played great. Actually, Wentz has been playing pretty good these past couple of weeks. They just, can't catch a break. They lost to the Ravens, but I just think that was just Lamar Jackson putting the team on his back. I think the Colts offense definitely is a better offense than the Texans. I think the Texans against the Patriots, David Mills hasn't looked bad, but NFL is about wins and losses. Defense, I'm going to give it to the Colts as well. Again, last week, Colts have a good defense. Last week, it's Lamar. That's all I can say. But I think the Colts defense is a lot better than the Texans, and the Colts are starting to come around at this point in the year, and their defense is much better. And coaching, I gotta go with Frank Wright, man. David Culley's doing a good job. I like how the Texans are. They're well coached. You can tell the guys are playing their butts off and hearts out. But I gotta give Frank Wright is a better coach. The way the Colts came into the season, I think Frank Wright deserves some credit, especially I believe they're going to turn it around. I like his coaching style. Who's going to win and why? I think the Colts they're going to win. This game is going to be very interesting. I think this is the perfect team that the Colts need to get a win in the win column. Not to say the Texans aren't a good team. This is a divisional game, but I think off of last week's comeback loss to the Ravens, the Colts are going to make a statement in this game, and I believe it's going to be 24-10 Colts. All right, Corey, Colts at Texans, who you got?
So the Colts are at a crossroads for their season. They've played well enough to win and probably should have beat both the Rams and the Ravens this year. But you are what your record says you are at the end of the day. And their record says they're a 1-4 football team. That loss to the Ravens on Monday night had to be demoralizing. You dominated for 3 quarters in that game, and the defense just completely collapsed. I get it. Injuries happened at the cornerback position. They were down to their 6th and 7th string corner at one point, but just, man, you can't fall apart like that. I'm sure within the media that the Colts 2018 rebound from a 1-5 start to making the playoffs and winning a playoff game will get mentioned plenty. This team doesn't have Andrew Luck. So does this Colts team kind of spiral and fall apart? Or does Carson Wentz take the reins and they have another rally like 2018? I have faith in Frank Wright. He's done it before. He's coached well. He's a good coach. I have faith he can get them where they need to go. As you said, James, Carson Wentz has looked good so far this year. That Titans game is the only one that he's really looked bad. And honestly, he had one of the best games of his entire career on Monday night. I think he had his highest completion percentage, yardage, and quarterback rating of his career. The Colts should be getting guys back healthy as the season starts to go on. And I honestly don't think it's crazy that they could go off and win their next 5. Those next 5 are the Texans, Niners, Titans, Jets, and Jaguars. The Niners are not the team, not playing as well as everyone thought they were going to be to start the year. Both quarterbacks are coming off injuries. I think that's the hardest game. But even if they go 4-1 in that stretch, I think that puts them back into the wild card discussion. And depending on how the Titans go, fortunately, they lost to the Jets a couple weeks back to help us out. But I think it puts them back in the divisional hunt as well. Obviously, for this game specifically, I think the Colts have the edge in all 3 areas here. The Texans aren't a great team. They don't have a great roster. Although, as we've said before tonight, that they have been playing much more competitively than I thought they would. But this is a game where the Colts need a win. They need to make a statement. I do think that there's some heat starting to grow on the seat of the Colts defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus. I think it's well-deserved heat. It's late collapses from that defense have kind of been a knock on him the last couple of years, and they just seem to have no answer whatsoever, and on multiple occasions. And the Houston Texans are going to be without both of their starting tackles this week, so that defense should be able to get pressure and show up. It is a divisional game. The Colts, struggled a little bit last year against the Texans both times. One of those games, Darius Leonard forced a fumble near the goal line to get the win. But, the Colts should take care of business. I think they do take care of business. I'm going to go with the Colts 28-17.
All right, Craig, Colts at Texans. Who you got?
Yeah, I think this is a bounce back win or bounce back game for the Colts. Honestly, looking at the schedule, I think like 4 of the next 5 are at home. The toughest one, like Corey said, is against San Francisco. But I really don't see but maybe three more losses for them. So that's 10-7. That's easy enough to win a division with only being the Titans in their way. But like, just look at how Carson. I didn't see Carson Wentz playing like he played Monday night. But looking at how Carson Wentz played, like he played phenomenal. Like he looked like 2017 Carson Wentz, MVP Carson Wentz, and like he put up outstanding numbers. So if he plays like that against Houston, I don't see why they would have any problem. If they get a wide receiver play like Michael from Michael Pittman, running back play from Jonathan Taylor, like they should easily win this game. So I definitely would take their offense. Brandon Cooks, I love Brandon Cooks. He's the only player they have on that offense, which is saying like this terrible. He's the only player they have. I feel bad for him that he has to be in that situation because a couple years ago, you had Deshaun there. You had, he just had a solid team around him. Now he just has nobody. So I don't know if Mills is playing this week or if Taylor's coming back. I'm not sure. But either way, I mean, if Taylor's coming back, then you have to deal with him coming back from injury against a division team. Or if Mills is there, then you're starting a rookie who has looked decent at times, looked better than I thought he was going to look. Now, obviously, the Bills game he got obviously destroyed, but other than that game, they kind of been with him on the center playing pretty well. Like they should have won the game against the Patriots. So just looking at that, like I think he can play, and I think they have a decent, like they're playing hard, but it's just the Colts I think are overall just a better team. On defense, I'll give the edge to the Colts there as well. Darius Leonard played great. His name was out there a lot on Monday, so he looked like the guy who I thought was the best linebacker in the league. And I just don't see no reason why their defense should be rated or even picked lower than Houston at this point. The coach, Frank Wright, clearly. But I can't remember the Houston Texans coach name. But he's got the team playing inspired I'm gonna say he got them playing inspired. Like I said, other than that Bills game where they got smashed 40-0, like they look pretty good. So but this is like a game for the Colts to go out and just dominate and show that they're the better team and to get them back on track now. Like I said, with 4 of the next 5 games, other than maybe the San Francisco game and I think they play the Bills and the Bucks, they should be favored in every other game, especially if they keep playing like they played Monday night. And if they can go off and win 9 of their next 12 or 9 of their next 12 games, like they could be a tough out in the playoffs. So, and I think that's what they're going to do. So I think it starts with this game coming up, and I'm going 31-17 Colts.